Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie McMahon is going into the Hall of Fame. I am proud of Stephanie. She deserves it, and this has been 20 years in the making. Like, it wouldn't be surprised if Stephanie was in the Hall of Fame in 2012. Like, let's be honest, her character in the Attitude Era was already fucking legendary. Like, from 99 to '02. Like, she was Vince's, sweet girl, and then she turned to a bad girl, married Triple H, you know what I'm saying? They had a McMahon Hemsley faction, and she was hated on. People roasted her, and she was just a character people were fucking tired of. Like, do you remember when Stephanie slapped her mother on TV? Like, shout out to Linda. Remember when she slapped Linda on TV? I mean, what was it, backstage? Shane grabbed her mother. Like, literally, Stephanie would say, like, I was mad that you made me do my room. We had it made or whatever, and this and that. Blah blah blah. You know how kids and people get when they get older and they bitch and whine and their parents and stuff. So Stephanie played that character well as this fucking spoiled brat. She played a good spoiled character, and this is why Stephanie played it very well. People hated it. It was irritating me, but I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. Like, I was waiting for Stone Cold to come out there, maybe the Big Show come out there, and Undertaker's Tombstoner, shit like that. People were waiting for that because Stephanie could play a good character. You know what I'm saying? And when she played a SmackDown general manager, this is when she had a feud with her father, Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are mad because, why is it Vince McMahon in Hall of Fame first? It should have been Vince. Well, listen, we understand that. We understand Vince McMahon should have been in the Hall of Fame. But so what? You know what I'm saying? I wish he should have been in there. In my opinion, Vince McMahon should have docked himself in 2014. 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Before this whole situation. Because without him, we wouldn't have the WWE. We wouldn't have Stephanie McMahon in the fucking McMahon faction. We wouldn't have Triple H. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on. You gotta make it make sense here. So, Stephanie deserves it. She's one of the best characters ever in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. I don't care what nobody say. Like, her feud with her father is pretty much crazy, but it's really fucking entertaining, right? Because Vince McMahon was this fucking devil, right? Who cheated on his wife for stable, you know what I'm saying? Would turn on his family, you know what I'm saying, like on Stephanie, because she didn't want her daughter having power. You know, like him, he was just worried about his own selfish ego, and Stephanie had to fight for her job, and eventually she had to resign, you know what I'm saying? So shit went down to that road, you know? So, yeah, bro. And until then, she came here and there on and off TV. And in 2005, this was good, right? When she had the blonde hair and she went off, she tried to bully the one ring announcer or one of the backstage executives, right? And ringside, right? Ringside. So that was entertaining as fuck, you know what I'm saying? It went off on Lillian, because like I said, she's the rich daughter of Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? She's playing this spoiled character that people hate and people are gonna like and are entertained. You know what I'm saying? And eventually we fast forward to the Authority storyline, right? And this is fucking lit, right? You know what I'm saying? Her being Triple H's wife, they're the Authority, right? And Stephanie made guys like Big Show, Dolph Ziggler and Miz get punished. The good baby faces get punished. And she played that very well. She made Big Show cry. Remember she went on TV and went on Big Show was like, Big Show, you were losing millions of dollars. Let's be honest, you're broke. But in reality, Big Show isn't broke. But they played a good, storyline, because this was going to take off and people were going to watch this every week. We were waiting for Big Show to snap and go off on Stephanie or Triple H, and eventually he did. You know what I'm saying? And Stephanie's like, you're broke, Big Show. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand there are rules at your job. When your boss tells you to do something, you have to do that. And this is a good valid point, and I agree with that. But at the same time, he's rich, and they played this very well, and Big Show was crying in the ring, and they're telling Big Show and to knock out Daniel Bryan and to beat his ass every week. So they're making Big Show beat up Daniel Bryan every week, pressuring Big Show and him crying on TV. And Big Show played that very well. And Stephanie's character, this evil boss, just telling people what to do, and that played very well. People didn't like it, people loved it, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, fast forward to Daniel Bryan, which my opinion, I realized after WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan was the wrong option to be put as the face of WWE. I think it should have been The Miz, who's more talented, taller than The Miz. Daniel Bryan bigger than Daniel Bryan, and The Miz could kick ass in real life. I bet The Miz could probably kick some ass in real life. I think The Miz could have been a better option to be, the new face of WWE. You know what I'm saying? Him to go after the Authority and being Randy Orton, you know what I'm saying? I think that would have been a good option. Even though The Miz was 34, but still, that would have been a good option. But anyways, just imagine this, right? The Miz and Stephanie having promos every week. The Miz going off on Stephanie, right? Him just talking about how she's spoiled, and without your daddy, you wouldn't be here in the ring, and she just slaps the Miz, right? You know what I'm saying? We just get, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I don't know, bro. I just think that would be good, you know? And remember when she went on TV and, you know, Daniel Bryan, I think Daniel Bryan was retired or whatever that time, and then Brie Bella got beat up by her sister, Nikki Bella, right? And Stephanie came out with the yes shirt. She was doing a yes. She was mimicking Daniel Bryan. Yo, I can't stop thinking about that shit, bro. She came out with the Daniel Bryan shirt. Yo, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't even get mad at Stephanie. You know what I'm saying? She was talking about Brie Bella, you know, Nikki Bella and shit like that. So they had their feud. You feel me? And then Stephanie just in the background, just laughing, getting excited. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying the show. You know what I'm saying? You know, one of those people like to start shit who's really a bad person, right? But just laughing. They just like to enjoy the drama. That's what Stephanie is playing, the good devil on TV. You know what I'm saying? So that went good. And you know, the feud was Cena, right? And then eventually she had to fire Ryback, Eric Rowan, and Dolph Ziggler, who three are fucking losers, in my opinion. Like, Ryback was good, but eventually, you know, I didn't enjoy Ryback. I think he was washed up until then. Eric Rowan sucks, and Dolph Ziggler sucks. And Stephanie said, you guys are fired, because you guys completely suck. And she knew what talent was. And she had to pressure Cena. You know what I'm saying? Cena eventually got the guys their job back, and he still didn't win the title. And Brock Lesnar was on top. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good time for wrestling, right? And until then, Roman Reigns was forced to be put in the main event. You know what I'm saying? So it was ridiculous. And eventually Roman Reigns come up in here, right? And Stephanie just makes his life a living hell. Remember she slapped the shit out of Roman Reigns? Like, his face was marked red, and he was hot red, right? It was insane. Like, she slapped the shit out of him. And one thing about Stephanie, she's got the hardest slaps in WWE. Remember she slapped the shit out of Big Show? Like, if I were Big Show, I could have just knocked the bitch out. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care. Anyways, that shit was lit, bro. And it just tells you, bro, Stephanie deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. She played a good character. She didn't have to be a wrestler. She's a McMahon, fuck it. She's a McMahon. God damn it. She's a fucking McMahon. Okay? The McMahons can do whatever the fuck they want. Vince McMahon can wrestle and can get steroids because he can do that. If that's Vince McMahon, he can whoop your ass. If Vince McMahon's not a pussy. Shane McMahon could jump off cliffs because he's a hothead, right? You know what I'm saying? Because and Shane McMahon understood that he understood entertainment. He understood that people need to see entertaining. And Shane, to me, how can I say this? Shane just understood that you have to have charisma on TV. You have to entertain these people, and you can't just, I don't know. You got to have the show go. The show must go on, right? As Vince always says, right? So they know how to play a character well because of Vince McMahon. The McMahons are unstoppable. They're one of the most unstoppable. What's the fucking name? The royal family in WWE. The Cody Rhodes in this song, he said they're the royal family. They're not. The McMahons are. They're unstoppable and they're fucking talented. Literally. It wouldn't be surprised if Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon and Lynn are in the Hall of Fame next year. You feel me? I mean, in 2027. You might as well. You might as well put all of them in there. You know? So, I don't know where the Hall of Fame is going to be at. I might as well put the Hall of Fame at SummerSlam because it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is going to be a fucking downfall for WrestleMania season. You know what I'm saying? But my favorite part of Stephanie is where she just went off on Big Show. You know what I'm saying? Made him cry every week. And eventually he went off and almost killed Triple H on TV. And Roman Reigns beating the shit out of Triple H, right? And her screaming and shit. And remember she threw the fit after Team Authority lost and Sting made his debut? She just went off, right? And Triple H had to calm her down. They were sitting in the ring, you know. Stephanie just throwing a tantrum like a baby, right? It was hilarious, bro. Yo, that shit was fucking lit, bro. Really, Stephanie's entertaining. And it just tells you Stephanie plays a good character. And if you're not going to be entertaining, you can't fucking be on my show. You can't be on my TV if you're not going to do that, like Stephanie's doing. And I don't care if Stephanie's 60. Stephanie can play a good character now. You know what I'm saying? Really, she went off on Kurt Angle. You know what I'm saying? Made, whatchamacallit, Roman Reigns' life's hell. No, she went off on Kurt Angle, bullied Kurt Angle. And then Baron Corbin was Raw general manager. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Kurt Angle was a little washed up now at that time. You know what I'm saying? But back then, he would have just snapped and break her neck. You know what I'm saying? Like Kurt Angle would do. You know what I'm saying? So, he played it well because, you know, he's the old man now. So, you know, what the hell? He's not, I don't know, bro. I don't know. To be honest, to me, Stephanie plays a good character well, and if nobody agrees with what I'm saying, then that's fine. But if you don't think she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, you must be stupid. You don't know wrestling and you don't know your shit. It's just that simple.